Ako si Reina Bontuyan at ito ang aking kwentong kalikasan. So my name is Reina Bontuyan and I'm the owner of Viajero Outdoor Centre. And I'm here today to share my story of my journey from being a mountaineer to an entrepreneur. When I was a student in college, I was taking up development communication. I discovered the sport. We called it a sport then, mountaineering, on my last years of college. And from a development communication direction of my career path, when I discovered mountaineering, I decided to shift into full-time being a mountaineer. I think it was an accidental discovery. I never realized that I would tremendously love the outdoors. When I discovered mountaineering, I never stopped climbing. Like in a month, we would climb 3, 4, 5 times in a month. And we would climb several mountains in Bukidnon area. And eventually, we discovered other mountains in other places, in regions. I remember also we had difficulties or challenges with local communities, not very open to outsiders. I was not very conscious of the sensitive of the cultural practices and traditions. Sometimes we would just pass the area of the houses. Labay minong, may buntag, Sometimes we do that, but little did we know that there has to be a proper way to do it. Like ayo, maayadaan law, pwede ba magsulod, and you have a discussion, di lang maglabay, kay you just have to, communicate with the locals. But we taught ourselves and we immersed ourselves in their culture, which was very helpful. And eventually we are, we with that experience, we shared it also to the next generations. It takes perhaps a mountaineer to relate what experience you gain from hiking. For me, it was more of a spiritual journey. I was enveloped in a very rich foliage of forests with the sound of birds, and it was a beautiful sight. And it was a journey, it was like a solo reunion or a solo retreat with my Lord. And I spoke with Him the whole time I was climbing. So it was more spiritual for me. And after the experience, I remember telling myself I'll have to do it again. I decided to shift into full-time being a mountaineer. And after a couple of years exploring mountains and going outdoors, I felt the need to build a business of outdoor equipment. I would remember in our younger days, after college, we would go to Cebu, we'd go to Manila just to purchase equipment, backpacks, climbing shoes, stoves, and sometimes we would go out of the country just to buy equipment. And we decided, kasi may mga pasabay, can you buy for me? And we decided to, why not, buy a couple, maybe a dozen of, maybe a stove or a backpack, and we would sell it in Cagayan de Oro. And we decided to, create a business together with my friends so we can address that need. Viajero Outdoor Centre is a Mindanao-based retail store specializing in outdoor recreational equipment. So when I say outdoor recreational equipment for sports, we talk about hiking, camping, caving, rock climbing, paddling, and all sorts of outdoor activities. The word viajero comes from the Spanish word travel. And so we are actually promoting responsible travel here. And we make sure that people who travel are equipped with the proper equipment and very much aware of what's going on in the environment, so they may properly engage, the right people as well. There are two components of the business. That's the retail, where we get the source of income from, mostly from the equipment that we sell. And the other component is a service component. All right, so let's go inside. Okay, so welcome. This is our small store. It's lots of colors, lots of shades. Here we sell all sorts of outdoor equipment, from apparels to technical equipment. And this is like a a paradise siguro for an outdoor enthusiast. No? So many things to see here, small things. We have suppliers from Manila, Cebu, and here in Misamis Oriental also. Well, we need to support local, okay? So the economy will grow locally as well. No? And then we want to support also kanang mga young mga entrepreneurs. And there's a lot here. More importantly sa ako, it's really the economy, no? The local economy that grows and spurts more than imported products, as we have to buy it from them. Like example, I'll show you something. This apparel, no? This is an apparel that's made locally. I mean, locally Philippine made. And an imported pants like this one probably will cost about 6,000 to 5,000. But here it just costs 1,000. And the materials are basically the same. The stitching is basically the same, nothing much. It's just the brand. Because the brand really spends on marketing and research. So that's a lot, no? So that's why it's priced higher. One of the things that I like about the business as Viajero is the community that we built, we created. I remember at the very start of the business, the community was a bunch of students in Xavier University wanting to belong to a group and wanting to experience life outside school. Eventually, this community grew and they became professionals. And now they are doing what they love to do in many different facets of life. And they have imbibed the discipline, the passion for the environment because of that. We will never reach this far if not for this community. Because they're the ones spreading the advocacy, the passion. You go to Viajero, they can teach you. You can support you, they can network, they can connect you with these people. So it's the connectivity. All right. So the person in charge here is Frank. He's the frontliner. This is Frank. All our staff here are mountaineers. So Frank's recent climb is Mount Kalatungan, just about 2 months ago. So he's a member of Xavier University Ateneo Mountaineering Society. And he takes care of all the online inquiries. He takes care of Shopee because we also have the e-commerce now. And the most important person here is Jen. Si Eric o si Reina, we cannot do this without Jen. Jen is like the office person, the finance person, and the person who knows all the secrets. All right, so this is it. This is Viajero Outdoor Centre, and it's very small, but it has everything you need. We have the equipment, we have the trainings with the services we can offer. We can recommend you to the right people if you want to travel. And we have food here as well. And the other component is a service component. So in the service component, we have the team buildings, we have the trainings, we have the event organizing, and we have the ecotourism as well, or ecotours. One of the concept of tourism that we really promote is ecotourism. Ecotourism is responsible travel to natural areas. When we talk about natural areas, this is a very sensitive issue because we are talking about biodiversity as well, no? And just not just the environment, the local communities also. So we need to educate the people who go to these natural areas on the proper things to do. And one of the campaign that we are pushing is the Leave No Trace campaign, that when you go to the outdoors in a natural area, make sure that you don't leave anything at all. Viajero Outdoor Centre conducts different kinds of trainings, outdoor education trainings. One of them is the Leave No Trace. It's a principle that is commonly used, it's used globally, internationally, for natural pristine areas. So the Leave No Trace has 7 principles, and basically it tells you the right way or the proper way to go into the forest, into the mangroves, into the ocean, or any natural sites. And basically, the 7 principles will teach you about trash, how to handle trash, human wastes, and how to engage with the local communities. And these are principles that will, come in really handy when you go in all sorts of natural areas. So we are now at the back area of the store of Viajero Outdoor Centre. And tonight we are conducting the Leave No Trace workshop. So as you can see in the arrow here, it's upstairs. This is done by Leave No Trace trainer. He's certified by L&T. His name is Sato Raipon, and he's from Cebu City. All right, so let's go upstairs. This way, please. So this is now the Leave No Trace Outdoor Ethics Workshop, and we are discussing number 2. No, it's travel and camp on durable areas or surfaces. So what's gonna happen is it's like a hopscotch memory game. So they're trying to distinguish which is a durable surface or not. Okay, so we have about 24 participants coming from different parts of the Philippines, actually. And there's some guests from New Zealand or Australia.
Pwede mo spread awareness after aning workshop. Kay mas daghan, as I have said, mas daghan atong mahatagan og awareness, mas minimal atong impact sa outdoor. So ang Leave No Trace, ang iyang gusto lang, how to minimize our outdoor impacts. Kaya kita, mubisita biya ta sa bukid, mubisita ta sa outdoors, bisita sa dagat, rock climbing, caving, any outdoor sports, nagita environmental impact.
You know, the forest contribution is a big issue for mountaineering, especially now that there's a decline in the forest cover. And can you imagine the amount of biodiversity cramped in a small patch of forest and the implications and the consequences of that? So we make sure that we educate our climbers and our outdoor enthusiasts whenever they go to the forest on the proper way to act and the proper way to conserve them.
90% sa mga basura nga nabilin sa bukid, unintentional. Wala nagituyo. Nga naman, ato na po na ma-explain later on sa dispose of waste properly. Kay una, trained naman tatanan, kay bawo naman ta nga, dili ta maglabay og basura. Pero nganong kita mismo, nga sigig ato sa bukid, daghan yung basura makitaan. Tama, mali.
A long time ago, the motto was, take nothing but pictures, kill nothing but time, and leave nothing but footprints. But that has changed already. So now we're doing it a Leave No Trace. You can't even leave your footprints if possible. The Leave No Trace workshop has really created a culture of a more conscientious outdoors person. You know, they are more aware of the environment and the impact that they make, and which is very, very beneficial for not just for them, but for the environment as well. I would like to introduce to you our most precious student.
Hello. Grabe.
Si Tomas from Impasugong. Kamasugok.
Sugsugok. Muna yung gabaton, kung gabaklay ka, gastruggle ka, usay walay dalan, muna magsugok ka.
Di ba kamas kay murag mo kama?
Dayon. Na-organize po na mong grupo, gikan po pag-talk nila. Gikan na may kuhan ka ng adventure na. Pero dili pa nga naka-plaster ba. Pag-apil lang mo sa ilang mga seminars dito na organize me. Tapos mas naka-empower pag yun mo. Pagka-teach sa kuan sa ako sa L&T. Sugod ato na yung opportunities nga mga nisulod. Hantod sa nag-meet mi ni Ma'am Reina. Gatuon ko sa iya, like ga-observe ako. Example, sa pagdala sa tao, muna yung pinaka-ace yun sa tanan niya nga skill. Tapos, siguro, how sincere siya when it comes to teaching outdoor ethics o sustainability sa imong pangbuhaton.
You know, tinuod siguro, no, in a sense nga, every time na ami lecture, for example, on a technical subject,
Yes.
amo gyud siya sudlan nga the why and the how. So, ang personal experience na mo dayon mo merge na dayon siya ba?
Sa tribo, ang kinayaan mo na ang eskwelahan, simbahan, pharmacy, playgrounds, etc. So, common sense ra gyud kayo nga ato yung ampingan ang kinayaan.
I think that is one of the thrusts of the Viajero Outdoor Centre, hoping and wanting everybody to go to the outdoors, to stimulate their passion for the outdoors. Because some people, they don't believe what they don't see. And we really want them to see what's happening in our forest now and in our remaining forest in the Philippines. Viajero Outdoor Centre has a program also. It's called Beyond TV program. It's a program designed for children. It started in 2015, developed with a couple of really close friends. And the purpose really is for children, for the children to bring them to the outdoors, to be able to, expose them to the environment and make them future leaders. Because they're the leaders who will be deciding for our future, making sure that they're grounded and they have the foundation for environment.
I had a short research about the forest in the Philippines, and according to the United Nations, no, under Food and Agriculture Organization, they said that we only have roughly 7 million hectares of forested land, and that's about it, right? So what do we do about that? It's a natural resource, it's a natural gift, and part of which is to really conserve it. So we go back to educating the youth, basically because they are the future of the world. So in Beyond TV, that is a nature-based program, no, for the children. It gives activities for the children in terms of the outdoors. That is to inspire them to really take care of the outdoors. And the very classroom or the environment is the outdoors. So we see that the children are able to go about with activities like trekking, caving, and stuff like those, even camping.
I am very afraid that my children will not be able to see the same forest, the same mountain that I saw in the past years and in the years to come. But I'm hopeful, no? I'm very hopeful for the future, especially with the collaboration of everybody in this planet for the conservation of forests. I remember in the early stage of the business, we were actually doing the right thing, but we were just not aware of it. Like we were making sure that we make a profit, but helping out the communities and helping out, environment, even individuals grow. I think now people are really gearing towards a company with a purpose, and they would rather spend more money for a company who has a purpose rather than just because it's nice or it's cheap. Some business owners might think that going green is impossible, expensive, and perhaps difficult. But what I can answer to that is it's just a matter of commitment in what you really want to believe in what you believe in. Perhaps it's expensive, but definitely not difficult. If you're a business owner on that specific industry, you have to research and find a commitment to where you can go green because you can always start in little steps. A business has to transition to sustainability because it's already a global concern. It's not something that's made up, that scientists just made up for economic reasons. It's because it's urgent. We need to practice sustainability in all aspects of life. Well, a business has to consider sustainability since it's already a global call. That everyone in this world has to practice sustainability. We all know sustainability has three pillars like economics and the environment, as well as a social perspective. Because if you just think for profit, I think there will be an imbalance. Eventually, if you only think about profit, human resources will suffer, perhaps community will suffer, or perhaps your local, your locality will also suffer. So there has to be a balance with all three pillars, which is making sure that you make enough money to be able to push the things that you need to push. We cannot do or conserve the forest alone. We need everybody to participate in this. And I'm calling for the business sector especially to, contribute and do your research on which aspect you can contribute to the environment. And I'm sure there's always one or two for every business out there. I think there are many lessons in our journey, in the 27 years of journey, but if I am to pick one, the valuable lesson, I think it's the need for a community to be able to pursue your advocacies, your passion, and the need to change our world together. If I have to do it by myself or just me and Eric, it would be hard. But with a bigger community, we can work together to reach that goal and faster. We should prioritize forest conservation because there's very little left. Can you imagine that? There's very little left, and we need to sustain the life of everybody in this world. Viajero Outdoor Centre has been existing for 27 years already, and we envision forever for Viajero. But we have been an icon already for so many outdoor enthusiasts out there in the country, for that matter. And we want to continue, no? We want to continue our advocacy, our passion to share and to be able to serve everybody who needs our help. It's a calling that that we can never say no to.